Very good morning, children. In today's class, we will see next topic of the lesson, motion. In the previous topic, means in the previous session, we have discussed about relative motion. What is relativity and what is relative motion? In this part, we will see about some more thing. That is, the important factors in this lesson are about distance and displacement. Okay, we need to learn about distance and displacement. See, what is distance? What is displacement? And how the distance is different from displacement, how can we represent them, what are the units of distance and displacement, and what are the scalar and vector quantities. What do you mean by scalar and vector quantities? Okay, children, we will try to know about these things in this video. Firstly, in our day-to-day life, we will be having many questions like how far is your school from your house, or how far is your class from headmaster's room, like that. We will be using nearer and farther like these terms. Okay, children. So let us see, here point A is there and here somewhere point B is there. Okay, one object is traveling from point A to point B. Okay, there are different paths are available for the object. It can travel in this direction, means in this path. The path I have drawn here, the object can travel in this path, or it can travel in this path, or it can also travel in this path. Like this, there are these three paths are available, or we can even draw many number of paths. Okay, if the object is traveled in this path from point A to point B, now what is the distance covered by that object? Then what we have to do here, we have to measure the length of this path. Here to here we have to measure the length of this path, here to here and again here to here. This total length we have to measure. Okay, the length of the path covered by the object tells the distance traveled by that object. If the object has chosen in this path, okay, let me give some names for this path. This is the path, first path, okay, P. This is A, P, B path. And the second one, let us take this as Q, A, Q, B. Let us take this as R, A, R, B. So there are these three paths, suppose available, let us assume. If the object is traveled in this path, we have to measure the length of this path only in order to tell the distance traveled by that object. If the object traveled in this path, then we have to measure this path only. We have to measure the length of this path only, A, Q, B only. Okay, if the object is traveled in this path, then we have to measure the length of this path, A, R, B, like that, depending upon the path chosen by the object here. Distance depends upon the path chosen by the object. Okay. There are three paths are available for the object, that is A, P, B, that is one. Second one is A, Q, B, like this. Or third one is A, R, B. In this path also object can reach the point B from point A. Okay, like this it depends upon the. So what we have to take? We have to measure the length. What we have to take? We have to measure the length of path chosen by the object, length of the path chosen by the object. In which path the object has traveled, we have to consider that path only, and we have to measure the length of that path chosen by the object. Okay, so then from this only we have got the definition for the distance. What is distance? Distance is the length of the path covered by the object in between 2 points in the given interval of time. Okay, it is the length of the path traversed by an object in between 2 points in the given interval of time. That is called a distance. Okay, now let me write the definition for distance. The actual length, okay, we can write here, the actual length of path traversed by an object. The actual length of the path traversed by an object in between 2 points. In between 2 points in the given interval of time. In the given interval of time is called distance. Is called distance. Okay, children, this is distance. The actual length of the path traversed by an object in between 2 points in the given interval of time is called distance. Okay. Now, so even though there are many number of paths are available, we need to consider the shortest path available between the 2 points. Okay, the shortest path will be the straight line which is joining point A to point B. The straight line, I have shown here the straight line. The straight line which is joining point A to point B. Okay, this straight line path will be considered as the shortest path which is available for an object to travel from point A to point B. Why we are taking the shortest path means here the shortest path or the shortest distance covered by an object from one point to the other point is called as displacement. What do we call that as a displacement? Okay, this is all about distance. And now here see displacement. Displacement. Okay, what is displacement? Here we can define displacement as the shortest path or distance, shortest distance covered by an object. Covered by an object is called displacement. Okay, children. So shortest path or distance covered by an object is called displacement. Okay. How maybe how many number of paths are available for that object to reach from point A to point B? But what is the shortest path among all the paths? That we have to see. The shortest path or the shortest distance covered by an object between the 2 points is called displacement. Okay. This is about distance and displacement. Now, you see here for distance, to calculate the distance, we need not worry about the direction. Okay. Here in all these paths, we did not represent the direction. Okay, we have see only the magnitude is required in order to say the distance. What we need here, we need only magnitude. Magnitude is the number. Magnitude is nothing but it is the number which tells exactly about the distance covered by that object. From A to B, if the object is chosen in this path APB, then we have to measure the length of this path only, APB. What is the distance present between A to B? If the object is chosen this path APB, we have to measure the length of the path APB so that we can get the magnitude of the distance. Okay, so it has only magnitude but there is no direction. Okay, if any physical property, any physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction, in that case we call such properties as the scalar properties. We call them as the scalar properties. What is a scalar property, children? Once again listen. A scalar property is the property in which the physical property, any physical property or any physical quantity which has only magnitude but no direction, in that case it is called as the scalar property. Okay, coming to displacement. In this diagram, in this figure, you might have noticed that I have represented a red color line. The shortest distance is represented with an arrow mark here. This arrow indicates the direction. Okay, from point A to point B. It has direction also. Displacement also. Displacement every time it has both the properties. Both properties. That means magnitude will be there as well as the direction will be there. Suppose if any physical quantity has both the properties like magnitude and direction, then it is called as vector quantity. It is called as vector quantity. If any physical property has both magnitude and direction, then it is called as vector property. So like this, distance is the scalar property, whereas displacement is the vector property. Okay, and next we will see the units. What are the units? Distance is measured in meters or centimeters or kilometers. Okay, here units may be meter or centimeter or kilometers. Displacement units also same. They may be meter or centimeter or kilometers. In anything we can tell. Okay, this is about the units of distance and displacement. Okay, I have explained you what is the difference between scalar and vector quantities also. Okay, once again, scalar means it has only magnitude, but vector means it has both magnitude and direction. Okay, distance is said to be the scalar quantity, whereas displacement is said to be the vector quantity. Okay, children. And now, if you are explaining about the distance, then A to B, or expressing, in case of distance, we can write AB is equal to BA. Why? Because from A to B, what will be the distance? From B to A also same distance will be there. So distance is equal to, we can write it as AB is equal to BA. Whereas for displacement will be represented like this, AB upon the arrow mark. Because it has direction. Displacement has direction, AB upon the arrow marker. That indicates, arrowhead indicates the object is displaced from point A to point B. The object is displaced from point A to point B. AB upon the arrow mark indicates the object is displaced from point A to point B. Then if I write BA upon the arrow mark like this, what does it indicate? The object is displaced from point B to point A. Point B to point A means in the opposite direction it has travelled. Therefore, AB is not equal to BA in case of displacement. Okay, in case of distance, we can write like this, AB is equal to BA. But in case of displacement, as it has direction also, as it indicates direction also, we cannot write AB upon the arrow mark is not equal to BA upon the arrow mark, because this arrow indicates that direction. These two are in the opposite direction, so they may not be equal. Okay, children, this is one point. And also regarding the displacement, you need to remember one more point, that is, when the object travels some distance and again it comes back to its original position. Okay, after traveling certain distance, suppose if the object came back to its initial point, then the displacement will become 0. Okay, suppose in this diagram only I will represent. First, the object started, its initial point is this one, its final point. This is the initial point, children. From this it has traveled like this. Okay, it has reached point B, and again it has came back to its original point, original position. It's a final point. This will be its initial point and the final point. It has traveled up here to here and again came back to its starting point. That means its initial point is A and final point also A. In that case, what will be the displacement? The object initial point and final points are same. Hence, the object is not displaced. We will say. That means the displacement of the object will be equal to 0. Displacement will be equal to 0. When the displacement will be equal to 0, displacement becomes 0. When it becomes 0, if the initial point is equal to final point, in that case, the displacement will become equal to 0. Okay, children, these are the few important concepts regarding distance and displacement. And also remember, the most important thing is scalar and vector. Okay, scalar means which has only magnitude. Vector means which has both magnitude and direction. Okay, children, remaining topics will be continued in the next sessions.